Now we need a rescue plan for the middle class. A plan that provides every family immediate relief to cope with rising food and gas prices. A plan to put more money in your pockets with a tax rebate. A plan to save 1 million jobs by rebuilding our schools and our roads. A plan to help states and cities avoid budget cuts and tax increases. And we should extend expiring unemployment benefits to those Americans who've lost their job and they're out there working hard trying to find a new one, but the market is tough right now, and we got to make sure that they've got a little bit of help. I've been fighting for such a plan for months now, while my opponent has said nothing. And that is the choice in this election. If we're going to rebuild this economy from the bottom up, it has to start with our small businesses on Main Street, not just the big banks on Wall Street. Small businesses, Columbus, employ half of the workers in the private sector in this country. They account for the majority of the job growth. But you know what's happening with this credit crunch? That's dried up capital and put the jobs of people who work in small businesses at risk because shops can't finance their inventories. Small firms can't make their payroll. It's harder to get a new idea off the ground or to provide health care for your employees. If we don't act, we'll be looking at scaled back operations and shuttered shops and laid off workers. And that's why we need a small business rescue plan, so that we're extending our hand to shops and restaurants, the startups and small firms that create all these jobs, that make our economy grow. Main Street needs relief, and you need it now. We won't grow government. All we're going to do is work within the Small Business Administration to keep folks afloat, to keep these businesses open, while providing tax cuts to lift the tide. It's what we did after 9/11. We were able to get low-cost loans out to tens of thousands of small businesses. It's one of many steps we can and should take to help stop job losses and turn this economy around. This is going to start with a nationwide program to provide affordable, fixed-rate loans to small businesses across the country. We can run this through the SBA's disaster loan program. Provides loans to small business owners, and they will get the help they need to maintain their inventory and meet their payroll. But we'll also make it easier for private lenders to make small business loans by expanding SBA's loan guarantee program. And by temporarily eliminating fees for borrowers and lenders, we can unlock the credit that small firms need to move forward, to pay their workers, to grow their business. And just as we make lending more available, we have to relieve the tax burden on small businesses to help create jobs. And that's why I've proposed eliminating all capital gains taxes on investments in small businesses and startups. That's why I'm proposing an additional temporary business tax incentive through next year to encourage new investments. Because it is time to protect the jobs we have and to create the jobs of tomorrow by unlocking the drive and the ingenuity and the innovation of the American people. That's what I intend to do when I'm president. Bottom up economic growth. Bottom up economic growth. Now, bottom up economic growth, that also depends on a tax code that doesn't just work for folks at the top. You know, I was down in Georgetown, Ohio, small town. I was in a diner. Me and Governor Strickland, we decided we need to go get some pie. It was in the afternoon, and well, I'm going to tell you, I had coconut cream pie. I had coconut cream pie, and Governor Strickland had lemon pie. And it was tasty pie. But while we're there, a couple of the employees, they come and they say, "Can we take a picture?" I said, "Sure." They said, "Our owner here, the owner of this diner, he's a die-hard Republican. And so we're going to show him this picture, just to kind of needle him a little bit." So the owner comes out. He's got my pie with him. And I say to him, "How do you do?" He says, "How do you do?" I say, "I hear you're a die-hard Republican." He said, "That's right." I said, "How's business?" He said, "Not so good right now." I said, "Well, let me tell you what, who's been in charge of the White House for the last 8 years? He said, Republicans. I said, who was in charge of Congress for 6 of the last 8 years? Republicans. I said, if you keep on hitting your head against the wall, don't at some point you decide, you know, this hurts? He said, I see your point. I said, you might want to just try Democrats for a little bit. Just for 4 years. I mean, we can't do any worse than we're doing right now.